Hey guys, Mr. Jenkins here. Just a real quick follow up to your quiz. Thanks to all who have taken that. Results were kind of all over the board, but anyways, just wanted to focus on a few problems that stuck out as like frequently missed questions. The first one was number one. It had a miss rate of 29%. I think one big reason was that a lot of people missed on a technicality, entered a decimal here when it asked for a fraction, so no big deal if you did that. But anyways, for the first thing, is it inverse or direct variation? So, when I look at the table, I notice that as x is increasing, y is increasing. So that's a hint to me that this is going to be direct variation. So for that reason, I want to check that. So we want to see if y divided by x is equal for all of them. So 0.5 over 2 equals 0.25. 0.75 over 3 equals the same. And then finally, 1 over 4 obviously is 0.25 as well. I know that's probably a little bit difficult to see. Hopefully, maybe you can zoom in there on that. But those are all equal to 0.25. So for that reason, it is direct variation. So we would select direct variation. And then what is the equation to model the data? So for direct variation, we have that k is equal to y over x. And also from that y is equal to k times x. So we already kind of figured out, let me pull down my blinds real quick and help with that glare. Sorry about that. So anyways, we already know that k is 0.25. That's what we figured out first. So our equation would be y equals 0.25x. And again, since it asked for a fraction, we would want to change that to y equals 1/4 times x for that second part. So direct variation and y equals 1/4 x. And some of the data was different. So yours might have been like 1/2 x or 3/4 x or something like that. But that's that one in general. The next one that a lot of people missed was number 5. That had a miss rate of 21%. And it's the same type of problem. It says in a bake sale, you recorded the number of muffins sold and the amount of sales in a table as shown. Part A wants to know what is a function that relates the sales and the number of muffins. So again, looking at the data, we can tell that as x increases or as m increases, as our input increases, s increases. So again, probably going to be direct variation. So we got to figure out what that constant of variation is. So again, sorry if you can't see this real well. Yeah, I don't think I can zoom in at this point. Anyways, I'm just going to do 24.75 divided by 11. That's 2.25. And then I should be able to go down the line. 31.5 divided by 14. What's the types that been wrong? Let's try that again. 31.5 divided by 14. That equals 2.25, and 45 over 20 is going to equal 2.25, and they all do. So we know k is 2.25. All right, so usually we think y equals k times x for this, but we have different variables. So my output variable is s, so it's going to be s equals k times my input variable, which is m. So for part A, we get S equals 2.25. And basically that just means that my sales is equal to 225 per muffin. So that 225 is the cost per muffin. Anyways, so 2.25 M would fill in that first part. And then part B says to make 337.50 in sales, we would need to sell at least how many muffins? So going off that first part, we would want to solve this equation right here. So 337.5 gets subbed in for S, and then on the other side of our equation, we have 2.25 times M. So just divide here, 337.5 divided by 2.25, 337.5 divided by 2.25, and we get 150. So part B would be at least 150 muffins. All right, and then we had one more, and that was number 8. That had a miss rate of 41%, so a whole lot of people missed that. Again, some people got pretty close but missed it because it wasn't in the form they wanted it, so that's the drawback to these Math Excel quizzes. Partial credit's a little harder to come by, but anyways, I wanted to show it anyways. So the first thing we want to do there, it says simplify the difference, state any restrictions. So first thing we want to do is we want to factor out our denominators so that we can see what the least common denominator is. So we have 3 over. So now I'm thinking what's going to multiply to -6, add to +1. That's going to be +3 and -2. So over x plus 3 is x minus 2. And that's that's 3x minus 5x over. And that factors out to, that'd be x minus 3 and x minus 2. So overall, my LCD is going to be x plus 3 times x minus 3 times x minus 2. So I'm not going to be able to show every little detail here, but anyways, on this side, I am missing just the x minus 3 part of that. So my numerator is going to be 3x times x minus 3 over x plus 3 times x minus 3 times x minus 2. And then minus, so what am I missing over here? I'm just missing the x plus 3 part, so 5x times x plus 3 over all that. All right, so from here, I am going to need another board. So here we go. So continuing on, I'm just focusing on the numerator right now. So we would want to go ahead and distribute and then combine like terms. So that's going to give me 3x squared minus 9x minus the quantity 5x squared plus 15x. And so to simplify, we have 3x squared minus 5x squared. That's going to be negative 2x squared. And then we have negative 9x minus 15x. So that'd be minus 24x. All right, and again, just worrying about simplifying this, and then I'll put it over the denominator. So we don't ever want this first term to be negative, so we want to factor out a negative whatever. So the GCF here is going to be negative 2x. So negative 2x times the quantity x plus 12 over my denominator again was x plus 3 times x minus 3 times x minus 2. So that answers part A. Sorry, it's a little bit off the screen there. So that answers part A. And then part B, what are the restrictions? So that's anything that makes the denominator 0. So negative 3 would make this 0. Positive 3 would make that 0. Positive 2. So my restrictions are x cannot be, I'm just going to write plus or minus 3 and positive 2. All right. So, anyways, that's just a little bit of what I saw you struggle with. If you find yourself struggling with other things or you want other explanations, don't hesitate to shoot me an email. You guys have done a nice job with that so far. So, anyways, just know that I appreciate your hard work and, keep on grinding. We're almost to the end of the year. We'll do a little bit of chapter 9 starting next week, and I'll look forward to it. So you guys stay safe, enjoy your weekend, and have a nice day.